Hello you guys, it's your girl Fennell. Like, whoa, welcome to my channel. This is my new series called Expand the Brand, where I'll be talking about branding, social media, business, all things entrepreneurship basically. I want to share the things that I've learned as an entrepreneur from when I was like in college, like doing online stores and things like that, till up to now when I'm, working with clients and basically a full-time entrepreneur. And also talk about like my corporate career, freelance career, everything in between. I feel like I've learned so much, and I just feel like if I can help someone else like quicken the time that it took me to learn, why not? I want to talk about the things I've learned this last year of full-time entrepreneurship. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that I've learned is that there's a difference between like entrepreneurship and self-employment. Don't get me wrong, this might sound very confusing because self-employment is a form of entrepreneurship, but there is a slight difference, I feel like, in more like the methods and the ways you work and how you're allowed to work. Don't get me wrong. So I've been a freelancer, I've been a contractor, I've been an entrepreneur, I've had a business, I've had product, services, consulting, I've worked corporate, I've done all these different things. And there's just differences in the autonomy of it all. So I'll give an example. I heard someone say this on TikTok that being self-employed means that like you have to work for yourself. So when you don't work, basically your money like stops. Entrepreneurship, there's a level of it where even if you stop working for about 30 days, your business will still continue. So I'll give an example. Let's say you offer services. Let's say you offer social media management as a service. If you're sick, there's no one else to do social media management. So you're basically self-employed. I mean, both are entrepreneurship, but I'm just using it. It's kind of like saying influencer and content creator, right? Basically, most people influence are content creators, but not all content creators are influencers. And then some people that are content creators influence, but not all influencers. It's like a lot of different nuances, but it's kind of like that. There's people that are basically self-employed, and there's people that actually like run a business. You get what I'm saying? So being self-employed means that you work for yourself, and if you stop working, your money stops as well. I feel like running a business is a little bit different. You usually have people working for you. So I think that being self-employed, right, your clients are usually paying you. So if you don't work, you don't really eat. But having like a business that you're working on means that you hire people and you pay them. So self-employment is your clients or contracts, they pay you. They're both forms of business, but I feel like having a business, being an entrepreneur, really at the level that I'm thinking at, it really means that you hire people, and if your business isn't doing well, you can't pay those people. So you're responsible for other people. Either way, you're gonna have responsibility. One is not greater than the other. You just need to choose which one's for you. Let's say you wanna get into business entrepreneurship, but you don't wanna take crazy risks. I'd recommend self-employment, doing contract work, freelancing, having consistent clients that you can work with. If you go start a product-based business, just know that product-based businesses don't always yield like a high ROI in terms of what you make. So for instance, when I was going into my entrepreneurship journey after working corporate, I was working corporate as a global marketing director, and I was also doing distributions as well for a skincare company in New York. I was like, I want to be an entrepreneur. I started doing my wig line, right? And I soon realized that it was costing me more to really sell hair, buy hair, make hair, send packages to influencers than I was actually gonna make. It wasn't gonna be a huge like amount of residual income or a high profit. So I quickly refocused, reshifted, and I started working under the tutelage of a lady who owned a marketing agency in order to learn everything I need to know about like marketing and agencies and services so that I could later on offer my services to clients. I literally went into tech, stacked up. So I worked corporate as a global marketing director. I was also in charge of distributions. I left it, I went into entrepreneurship. I was basically living off my savings. I moved in with family, and I'll have a video about my testimony about all of this. But my point is this: I soon realized that, wait, if I sell this product, I'm gonna have to invest so much to make money. So like, let's say you make $10, you have to put like $7 back to make the $10 again. And the other $3 that you're left with, you get taxed $1, so you're left with like $2 out of $10, and $2 is not enough to live. So I slowly realized that quickly. Versus offering like services, you don't really need to invest. You either have the skill or you don't, or you develop the skill or you don't. But you don't have to invest like financially. You do have to invest time-wise. You have to create systems in order to work with clients. But what I will say that if anyone wants to, have the freedom of being an entrepreneur, having a business, but you don't have money to invest, I would recommend that you go into offering services. So that can be like consulting, social media management, brand strategy, creative direction, photography, videography. These are things that you don't usually have to spend a lot of money on: inventory, branding, ads, influencer marketing, events, packaging, and all of these things in order to start the business. So I quickly realized that these two types of entrepreneurship are not exactly the same. And the sooner you realize which one is for you, the better. Neither one is necessarily better than the other. There's pros and cons to each. The pro to, I feel like, basically like product-based businesses is you can really, you know, show what you know about branding. You can really like basically craft your baby and work on your own thing that's your own. The pro about like, you know, offering services to clients is that you can literally get very consistent clientele and you can quickly scale into an agency. And then when you become an agency, now you can go into this next tier of entrepreneurship where it's like you hire people to do the work versus you doing all the work freelance. You hire people to do the work, you subcontract them, and now you can create the systems where you can go on vacation for 20 to 30 days and not have to worry about your clients because you've set up the systems and you've hired people to do that. But you can still do the same with the product business. You can hire people to ship things out. And I want to say this right now, as cute as it looks, like shipping things out like on Instagram and social media, it's literally not fun. So I highly recommend, like, if you're gonna do that, hire someone to do it for you. Hire e-com space, do drop shipping, get an intern, an assistant, someone to do it for you, because you should not focus too much time on that. You should, as quickly as you can, transition to focusing your time not on shipping items, but on product development, ads, text, SMS, things that are gonna scale your business. But this is a lot that I'm going over in this video, but let's get into what else I've learned. So the next thing I learned in my year of full-time entrepreneurship is that it is hard to be profitable when you are emotional. Oh my gosh, like this is a big thing for me because I'm a very emotional person. And I also learned not only is it hard to be profitable when you're emotional, but being emotional, being discerning, and being intuitive are all very similar but very different things, right? Being emotional, I feel like, means that you're controlled by your emotions. You're swayed by your emotions. Being discerning means that you can kind of like feel what's going on spiritually and know right from wrong, know truth from false, right? And then being intuitive means you can sense things, you can feel things. And the thing is, you need to always like be very cognizant of your emotions, how you're feeling. I remember someone in college had told me, don't believe what you feel because what you feel ain't always real. As an entrepreneur, you can't just say, oh, I'm not feeling good today, so I can't ship out orders. Oh, I'm on my cycle today, so I can't do my client's work that's due today. If you know that you're a very emotional person and you're working on it, my advice would be to work on it, get disciplined, push through the emotions. Sometimes you do need a break, that's true. Set up systems where you can have balance, to have a break, and have a healthy balance so your business doesn't consume your life so you don't become overwhelmed. Also, I would recommend these other things like take vitamins, you know, see if you're vitamin deficient. Look into all these things because all these things play a role in your emotional well-being as an entrepreneur. And I really learned this actually through talking to one of my friends. I was advising them about like them being in LA and them, you know, wanting to go into entrepreneurship full time. And they kept making all these excuses. And I kept giving them all these ideas and they kept negating me or saying this or that, oh, well, but this, but that. And immediately it came in my spirit to ask them this question. I said, are you emotional? And he said, heck yeah. And I said, it is very hard to be profitable when you are emotional. And that wasn't just a word for him, it was a word for me as well. Another thing that leads to this that I learned this year is find someone to work for you on sick days. If you don't pay for it, you will pay for it. So there was a day where I lost a lot of money in one day, and it's because I did not feel well the week before and I needed another week to recover. Some of my clients didn't really care about that. They had deadlines due. And I realized the amount of money I lost in a day was so significant, and I realized, wow, if I would have just taken like a small percentage of this money, paid someone else, I would have at least had like 80% of this money, you know what I mean? So I said to say, like, it's not a bad idea as an entrepreneur. We don't have like sick days and stuff. It's not a bad idea to find someone to basically like work for you or be like your substitute when you're gone. Have an assistant, have someone that you can call, you know, to take over your work. Or you can even network with other entrepreneurs that do similar things to you. So let's say your social media manager, if you already pre-schedule all your posts, just need someone to engage, you can hire another social media manager, subcontract them for that 2 weeks where you're sick. pay them a cut, just have them manage the captions, say everything's already scheduled, I just need you to manage the comments or whatever, post the stories. Because I said if you don't pay for it, you will pay for it in the end. So it's better just to pay a couple $100s than to lose thousands because you didn't deliver when you said you're gonna deliver. Next thing I learned is that cabin fever is so real as an entrepreneur. I've learned that mental health and spiritual health, emotional health are very important to keep very high when you're an entrepreneur, because these things literally influence, especially when you're doing service-based businesses. You need to make sure that you yourself is delivering the service that you can function. So for me, one of the services I offer to clients is creative direction. So one thing I've noticed is that it's good for me to be well rested the night before, right? To come to a shoot well rested. And also a thing that I need to work on, making sure that I eat before, eat during, eat after, because I used to go to shoots. I even do this sometimes. I go to shoots. Well, today I didn't. I had a shoot today and I didn't. I ate before. But I'd go to shoots. I wouldn't eat the whole day until after. And although I was able to go, I was like, maybe I would have had a little bit more emotional energy or mental energy or creative energy if I would have eaten. Cabin fever is very, very real. You want to make sure that you're either like taking a walk once a day, maybe go to a cafe, invest in a co-working space, network with other entrepreneurs that you can like work with and bounce ideas off of, because you can literally just be in your house all the time on your laptop and it's just not good for your mental health. I'm just being honest. So the next thing I learned is that your friends are not available when you're available. So you need to find friends with similar schedules or schedule things with your friends, or else you're gonna feel very lonely as an entrepreneur. I'm just being honest. I'm very infamous for hitting up my friends around like 1 o'clock. Hey, wanna go get sushi? Oh yeah, when? At 3 o'clock? And they're like, Fenella, like I'm at work. I'm like, oh yeah, you can't just leave. Like I can just leave my house or whatever. Or I'm like, hey, you wanna go to New York this weekend? This weekend? Yeah, and come back next Tuesday. Like, oh, if I have to go and work when I'm like, oh yeah, you know, you know, just things like that. And the thing is, I realized that I have a lot of flexibility with my schedule. I'm very grateful for it, right? But entrepreneurship can get very lonely. So it's really good to like schedule things ahead of time with your friends. I'm working on this right now so that you don't end up being an island. And you know, like the previous thing I said, cabin fever is like so real. So find out your friend's schedule. Find other friends that do similar things to you. Find co-working friends, because even your friends that work remotely, work from home, they're not necessarily available when you are. So for instance, I might be able to go grab sushi at 12 o'clock. I keep talking about sushi because I love sushi. And they might be like, girl, I have a meeting at 12. Or maybe they can do lunch at 12, but they can't leave because they have a meeting at 1. So if they leave to go do lunch with you, they have to do their meeting and they can't take the meeting in a loud space, right? So that's why it's really good to figure out like friends and people you're gonna co-work with so you don't become so lonely. I highly, 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 highly recommend this. Make your schedule so that you're around people sometimes. So if it's like you go to the gym in the morning or whatever, do these things for your mental health. And another thing that I would like to say is work on creating like a schedule. Don't just float as an entrepreneur, because you'll think, oh, my work is so easy, I got this, I'm able to do all this client work really fast. But if you don't create systems to manage your schedule and your time with your clients and your service work that you do, you will not be able to scale. You won't even be able to track scalability. So for instance, you won't be able to see how much time you really have to take on other clients. And this can either lead to you taking on more clients than you can and burning out and not doing a good job, or you not taking on enough clients and missing out on money because you're just floating in the sky, you're distracted by your phone, or whatever. You need to really document your time. I'm not saying you have to work 40 hours a week. What I am saying is know how much time it takes you to work for each client. This way, if you ever want to do billable hours for a client that's asking about your stuff, you can kind of know amount. I personally don't, I'm not in love with hourly rates, but certain contexts hourly rate does work. But this will allow you to really see, are you making what you should make? So create a schedule, create routines, because this will help you scale, and also not help you just scale in terms of making more money, but also help you scale your team, because you'll be able to see, okay, I'm really maxing myself out. Who can I add? Or you'll be able to see, okay, I'm making a lot of money that I want to. Maybe you're making more than what you want to. You might be able to see, okay, I could give someone else 15 hours a week so I could have 15 hours to myself, you know? But really create a schedule. And the last thing I wrote down is invest in yourself and your mental health, because entrepreneurship is lonely. I highly recommend this. If you don't have a therapist, consider one. Make sure that you have a prayer life. Make sure that you have quiet time. make sure that you're in your word, whatever you need to do to make sure that you're a better you. Whether it's find a workout that works for you, a gym that you like, take a walk, listen to classical music while you're working, play the Bible while you're working. Create these systems and invest in yourself so you can produce the best work that you can for your clients. Even if it means having a spa day once a week or once a month, you can go on Groupon, get a spa day for yourself. These little things make a huge difference. Even if it's maybe 2-3 times a week, you go to a coffee shop, maybe another day you go co-work with a friend at their house or your place. Invest in different things. Some of the money that you're gonna make, yes, a lot of it goes to taxes. Some of it's gonna go to having tools and systems like different apps to help you automate and schedule different things to make your work easier. But please, I'm begging you, have some income set aside just for your physical and mental health as an entrepreneur. So whether you take a couple $100s and invest in maybe a life coach, a therapist, a spa day, I told you can use Groupon, or even just maybe doing ice cream once a week, create some type of like habits and things. Even if every quarter you take a 1 week or 4-day trip just for your mental health. It doesn't have to be out the country. It doesn't even have to be out the state. Just to really sit down and think and have peace and have quiet time. Because entrepreneurship can get very stressful. A lot of the pressure is on you. And I feel like when you offer services freelance, you are kind of expected to perform at a higher level than people that even work corporate sometimes. So thank you guys so much for watching my series, Expand the Brand, where I talk about branding, entrepreneurship, and business. Make sure if you want to learn more from me and more about my like fashion world, join Echelon 12. It's my fashion and branding and media community. You can join the club down below. Click the link. You can join for free. It's an org I started at Spelman for fashion and media, people that want to learn those things. But I'm bringing it back right now. So please join the group below. We have so many great things coming. Also, watch my Fashion Week series because Fashion Week is coming up and I'm giving tips on how to go to Fashion Week. I also have a guide that you can pre-order to learn how to go to Fashion Week with the emails, the scripts of what to write, where to go, things to do, how to get into shows, all of that. And last but not least, my wig, girl, my hair is from Lipo Wigs, my wig line. So click down below to check out my wig line as well. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions or any ideas for what's next in the series, let me know. I do have a video up about my entrepreneurial testimony for the last year, so please watch that to encourage you. And I will see you next week on Expand the Brand. Love you guys. Bye.